And the artist game is like one where you put, again, you kind of go all in. Does that make sense? It's like, I'm an artist, all or nothing in. If you're a songwriter, you can write for other people. If you're a session player like me, you may never roll a double six, but you might have threes and fours and threes and fours and twos. Does that make sense? So you have a stable career. But my career only relied on the success of the artist. So the artist stopped selling records or making records, I'm kind of kaput, you know. Whereas as artists in this room or actual songwriters, you have all the control. And I say something really important to everyone that I talk to. I say, you are at the best time to make music in your life. Best time. Because in the 80s and the 90s, in 1990, you could not get on the radio without a deal. You could not get through the mix without a record company saying you could, or a radio plugger saying you could, or an elite studio which had a neat desk in it and, you know, tons and tons of £1,000s of outboard. We could make a record right in this room right now, and we could get on the internet in about 20 minutes, depending on the Wi-Fi speed. We could get it up and running, and we could execute it, and it'd be out there. You are the best. No one can turn you. No one can say, no, you know what? You're not putting that music out today. It's not ready. But you also have a big problem because everybody is kind of competing for that space. So you've got to be the best that you could possibly be to make that music out. Can we have the next slide, please? Thank you, Phoebe. You've been a legend. And my closing point is this. There's more to music than music. What do I mean by that? This is my phrase now. There's more to music than music. Someone unpack that for me. Where's the philosophy student? Yeah.
It means like that there's like, it's not just music as we see it, like there's more to it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I'm getting there, yeah. Anybody else? Yeah.
Meaning behind the songs?
Yeah, great. Great. There's more to music than music. Because nothing you can do in the music game will ever be good if it doesn't have an understanding and a relatability to it. Your song on its own will never be good enough to cut through. Okay? That's not me putting you down, but you've got some amazing songs. However, it's arrogant, and I tell this university student, it's arrogant to think that just because you have a good song, it's going to work. Everything else, the music, I always say this, the music is like when you walk down the high street and you see the shop window and you see all the nice clothes in the shop window, okay? It's a shop front for what it is. When you walk into the shop, then you get the experience, you get pulled around the shop, you get all the bits and pieces, and you have everything. So I like that, and I get drawn into the shop. If you don't like it, you kind of tend to walk past it. You go, oh, that's nice, you carry on walking. You as young, budding songwriters, performers, artists, session musicians, possible A&R, teachers, philosophers, biochemistry students, have to understand and learn right now, and I'm sure Nick does an incredible job in all this about delivery of message and understanding of the song and breaking it down, is that if you've got something to say, let's say it, but everything else that is behind that song needs to be supportive in that message. So whether it's the chords that you write, the production that you write, who you are as a person and the message you're saying. So, you have a passion for music, you love music, you're an artist in your own right. Tell me who you are.
My name is Mark Sleeper, producer, yes, guitarist.
And what kind of stuff are you writing?
I'm into pretty much everything, just like we are, I'm comfortable with every genre.
Okay, yeah.
But my most preferred one is probably hip hop, or like indie rock.
Great. And what are you talking about in the hip hop records?
What do you mean, like the?
What do you want to tell? Yeah. What are you going to tell me when I listen to your hip hop records?
I mean, not good enough. Or
No, don't say that.
it could be, but you know.
When I listen to your record, what will I get from your record? Not that's good enough, because that's a load of crap. What are you speaking about in your records?
I would just life in general, like
Great.
what happens in my life. art.
So what happens for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. And that's all wrapped around that message. As the most famous hip-hop artists have all said, Mel said, wrote that track, The Message. And that is the key component of everybody's stuff. When you're writing chords, what do you want to say? Okay? And you wrap that in this beautiful package of music and chords and drums. But at the heart of it all is what you're trying to say. Because so many artists fall short of this goal. Because when you ask them what that, tons of people come to me and they say, can you listen to this record? Or can you tell me what you think of this record? And you play it and you're like, I don't know. I'm an intelligent man. I don't know what this song's about. Why? Because they haven't been clear enough with their message and their delivery, okay? And clear enough that everything you do around that message supports that message. Whether it's the sounds, flavours, textures, everything needs to support and drive that. And then it's backed up by you, the person, your following, your fan base, the way you present the record, whether it looks, the flavour, the colour palette, all of that stuff, your Instagram, all that stuff allows you to be that kind of like artist-driven, front-led person, okay? And you're experimenting, and you're going to keep experimenting the whole of your life, and the journey is never over. As Ozzy Osbourne said at 75 years old, I think I might be just beginning to like myself. So it's really important. There is more to music. The people that are really successful, I did a talk yesterday in another college, and we took apart Bruno Mars. That's what I like. We took apart that record, and even the most turned off metal enthusiasts were in the room. When they came in, they were like, I hate this record. But by the end of it, I was like, do you understand what it means to be like an artist? And Bruno Mars is a true example of someone who's grown up listening to how all the greats did it, and then churned out his own version of what the 80s looked like again in 2017. He just flipped it and reworked it, and he had an exact pinpoint of where he was going. Just like Ed had, just like an understanding of like, this is what I'm going to do, these are the sounds and flavours I'm going to use, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that all from the 80s, 90s, and then I'm just going to rebrand it, repackage it, and now it's mine. I'm Bruno Mars now. So you really understand the message, and that's all of you constantly trying to say, well, hold on a second, why am I putting that hi-hat there? Why am I putting those drums there? Why am I putting that flavour there? Why am I putting that taste there? Always questioning, okay? Always question. Yeah, that sounds good. I love that. Don't always have to have a deeper understanding of it, but just, why am I doing that? Oh, I know why I'm doing those hi-hats, because the groove needs to be pushed on a bit more, or we need to do this, or it's supporting a message. Does that all make sense? So that's the final point I want to leave you with. There's always more to music than music, okay? Keep that percolating in your soul, alongside the reasons you make music, and I promise you it will help you along your path. Take it from someone who understands and knows. Now, I'm going to leave the floor completely open now for a while, if you want to just talk and ask me anything. How long have we got left?
We've got a good 20 minutes left.
Great, so we'll have just a Q&A for 20 minutes. Everyone feel okay? Everyone feel a bit bombarded? Yeah, passion man. Yeah, so we're to go to the first place in the room. Yes, let's go.
How do session musicians get their wages?
Money to us. We're talking about money. So how do session musicians get their wages?
Yeah.
Do you mean how we're paid, or how do you...
The former.
As a performer?
No, I said the former, as in the first one, how they get paid.
Like into our, like how, who pays us, you mean?
Yeah, who pays a session musician?
Oh right, okay, yeah. Well, a session musician like myself is a freelance person. I'm a limited company, or a sole trader, which means you're self-employed, essentially. And you're paid for by the record label or the management company. Usually the management company, because they take a 20% cut of the artist's wage, but you get to negotiate your own kind of fees as the further on you go a little bit, and you sort of sit down and they say, listen, could you, can you do this for this? And you say, yeah, okay, cool. And when you're starting out, you take a look, you take kind of what's given on the table, really. Don't undersell yourself, by the way, but just make sure that you kind of like understand that this is maybe a lower act, and going in and saying I want £1,000 a day probably isn't going to work, okay? So by saying, I think, that's what I think I'm worth, and working that way. So to answer your question, hopefully the management company pay you, the record label can pay you, like for promotions. Anyone that you're doing work for, you would invoice for, and then they would pay into your bank account, basically. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Good. I'm glad that's good. Who else wants to ask anything? No questions. Yes, sir.
How is it working with One Direction?
What, are the people or the project in general?
Yeah.
One Direction were a funny one because they always saw what they did as work. And I didn't quite understand, never fully understood that. Is this going to go out live? Like,
No, not at all.
okay.
Just for these guys.
Okay, good. Okay, what he's saying. They were very young. I mean, you've got to remember they did see it like work because the reason they saw it like work was because they were 15, 16 years old when they joined, and they were told to go where and when, and they were told they were pushed into a hole. Now, you know and I know, even as young individuals yourselves, if people tell you to do something too much, you're probably going to go, no, I'm going to do that. Like, you know, I'll do it how I want to do it, within reason, obviously. But when you're getting pushed and pulled by loads of different people, they all saw it as work. So to get them to rehearse in the room was hard, to get them to do anything. But what they did do exceptionally well, and I learned a lot from them, because I come from a very clinical sense of music, of everything's got to be perfect and everything's got to be right. And actually, it notched off my perfectionism quite a lot, because I saw 5 lads that just literally were running around this stage, not choreographed, not doing dance moves, and were engaging audiences on such a big level. So young girls, and mostly girls, there's a few guys in the audience, but very few involved too. Young women of many different sexual orientations. We're just engrossed by this carefreeness. I don't think we'd ever seen that before, going right back. Even like the Beatles, the Monkees, you know, it was all kind of very polished, very choreographed, and everything was like on point. When I saw 5 lads just jumping off stage, throwing shoes at each other, it was all very chaotic. And my brain really struggled with this as a concept. I was like, this is not music. Like, and regardless of what you thought about the songs, they were very well written, they were very catchy. They weren't ever going to be timeless. They were never ever going to be timeless. They were very fast in and out, but like the songs in terms of writing, they weren't classics. Like the nice track of Billie Jean, you know. But what they did do very, very well, and I really admired them for, and I really took that through to my own practice, was that do not need to be a perfectionist, because imperfections are the most beautiful thing in the world, and people want to see something that's real. You know, like there's a place for high-end, like Beyonce star choreography, of course there is. But why is Adele so successful? I always do this. Why is Adele so successful? Why is Adele so successful? Yeah.
Because everyone did know her, or like...
That's the answer. That's the textbook John Shone answer. Yes. What else? Very good. What else? She's relatable. Thank you. Hang on, right there. You've already seen it. You're looking for me time. Yeah. She's relatable. Someone like you wouldn't have been as successful as it was if it wasn't sang by that fact. It's a middle of the road, pretty bog standard ballad track. Okay. Never find someone like you. If it was the wrong artist, that track would just flop. But because it was Adele, because she was a down-to-earth, curvy woman, empowering other women, who could speak her mind, who swore on camera, who was just real, and like the council estate Croydon girl that we knew she was. And she never pretended to be anything else. I think that's what was so beautiful about Adele. So, reality and being real. Yes, sir?
Wait, can you finish your sentence first, then I'll say something.
Thank you, that's really appreciated. Thank you very much. Relatability, exactly, and yes, people can see themselves in there. Yeah, exactly right. And so being imperfect is great, because perfection is very hard to get to. It's almost impossible. Because once you feel like it's like when people don't release a record, they say, oh, I've just got a bit more work to do on the snare drum. And then they get to the snare drum and they say, oh no, I need to do some work on the kick drum, and the vocal needs to be doing it. Yeah, and before you know it, 2 years later, you've not released the record at all. You know, and Calvin Harris, for example, someone does it very good. I did some work for Calvin Harris this year, Dua Lipa, and just samples on piano for their live show. A friend of mine who runs the show, he asked me to just come in and do something for him. And I took apart Calvin's mix. What is that track called, Calvin Harris and Dua Lipa? Yes.
One Kiss.
One Kiss, thank you, sir. One Kiss. And it was all, they came to me because I had all the sounds, and I was like, has Calvin not got these sounds? Like, no, he just borrowed a chord keyboard, and he just went preset number 20, and he just recorded it in, and he hasn't got a keyboard anymore. I was like, okay, so I just turned my keyboard on, I went to patch 20, took it line out, sampled it, shipped it off to the MD at the time. That's how Calvin works. Calvin Harris always says the same thing, he's like, get the vibe. Like, once you get the vibe, like you're good. You can come back and master it, but he's like, just get it down, like just start funking or grooving or get something that feels right. Don't think, oh my god, like, oh, I need to get the delay right. I see this with live guitarists, they do this all the time. This thing where they go down on the pedal. And I say the same thing to guitarists. I say, don't be pressure about it, because no one ever walked out of the venue because your delay was wrong. Okay, no one ever hated the song because the reverb tails were too long. Okay, so it's great to be detailed, but also don't try to be perfect. Focus on the main things, and those main things are, as Calvin said, vibe, connection, understanding, relatability, feeling, and everything else. Then you can start tweaking once you get your ideas down. If that makes sense. I drifted again. I can't have to do that. Great. Did you want to carry on? No, you said you were going to say something else.
It's interesting about Adele being an independent, being trying to excel recording.
Excel, yes.
She had three top UK top 20 hits, Chasing Payments from her debut album, and it's only after an X Factor contestant song Make You Feel My Love in the auditions in 2010 when she started to become really popular.
Yes, yeah.
And with the release of Rolling in the Deep, which I have on CD single, held in a charity shop in Chinatown for 50p.
That's great, great. CDs were my favourite format, you know, because they were kind of like, although they got really scratched, like if you pick up a PlayStation game and you just throw it around, chances are it's going to get scratched. However, Blu-ray obviously is a bit more, it's got a bit more malleability in it. CD is my favourite format, you know, and there was a mini disc after that, and I really talked about mini disc, even though I think that's very good too. But MP3, yeah, it's the way it is now, streaming, obviously, opposed to that. Who's got another question? Yeah, they come in now.
What were your home relationships like when you were out on tour?
My home relationships when I was out on tour.
Yeah.
Brilliant question, thank you. I like to talk about romance and love and relationships, because relationships do get strained. When I first started with relation, I was with the beautician girl, and within 6 months it was over.